Welcome to Breakup Cheater, the channel where real-life stories come alive. From tales of heartbreak and betrayal to suspenseful moments that keep you on the edge of your seat, we dive deep into the human experience. Raw, emotional, and unforgettable. Subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss a story that will make you feel, think, and maybe even shiver. What happens when love, friendship, and family collide? Lauren thought she had it all. An unexpected romance, a supportive fiancé, and a cozy life in Savannah. But one visit from a longtime friend, a surprise pregnancy, and a baby born with a life-threatening condition would change everything. This is the story of hope, heartbreak, and the fragile threads that hold our lives together. Stay with us as we unravel Lauren's journey in Threads of Hope. Threads of Hope. The morning sunlight filtered through the lace curtains, scattering soft, intricate patterns across the worn hardwood floor of my grandmother's kitchen. I stood at the sink, gently squeezing the rubber bulb of the blood pressure monitor wrapped around her frail arm, eyes tracking the numbers as they climbed. "My hands are shaking again, Grandma," I murmured, trying to keep my voice light. Mabel Harper, 80 years old, proud as ever, shot me a look sharp enough to cut steel. "That machine is lying, Lauren. My blood pressure isn't that perfect. You and that contraption are both wrong." I laughed softly. The numbers read 132/82. 130/80 astronaut material, I teased. She huffed, clearly disappointed. Mabel had always enjoyed a little theatrics, the kind that demanded attention, as if silence meant she was invisible. She straightened her scarf like a queen adjusting her crown. "Back in my day," she said with a dramatic sigh, "we didn't need these gadgets." I could feel my heart racing without any of this nonsense. "Must be over 200 by now." "Well, you'd better sit still, or I'll be calling the ambulance," I countered, setting a plate of scrambled eggs and toast in front of her. Her face softened just a little. "You wouldn't dare," she whispered. "Right. I wouldn't give the nurses the satisfaction. Remember that time you faked chest pains so I'd cut your wedding ring off?" I reminded her. Mabel's shoulders shook with laughter. "That ring was stuck, Lauren. Nothing fake about it." We fell into the familiar rhythm, her nitpicking, my deflection. This had been our life since I moved back to Savannah after my mother passed, and my father relocated to Alabama for work. My days were packed. Mornings at the clinic, afternoons at urgent care, evenings at home with Grandma. She complained I did too much but secretly loved the attention. "You know what I was thinking about last night?" she asked suddenly, dabbing her mouth with a napkin. "How much I want to live long enough to hold a great-grandchild." I glanced at the clock, 7:20. Plenty of time for our usual Sunday chat. "Grandma, you've told me that since I turned 25, I said with a smile. "And I'll keep saying it until you make it happen," she said firmly. "They say if a woman lives to rock a great-grandchild, her sins get wiped clean. Like a southern baptism with diapers." "That's not how redemption works," I replied, smiling anyway. Her eyes narrowed, and suddenly, her mischievous glint returned. "So, anyone I should know about?" I hesitated, thumb brushing my coffee mug. But that glint, the same one she had when she caught me sneaking cookies at 7, made me spill. "His name's Noah. Noah Harper. And we've been seeing each other for almost a year now." Her face blossomed into a mixture of smugness and delight. "You tell your mama. You're the first person I've told." She patted my hand firmly. "Lauren, if this Noah boy is as good as he sounds, you better hold on to him. Don't let life pass you by." In that warm kitchen, with the kettle whistling and the Spanish moss swaying outside, I let myself imagine it. A life she wanted for me. Family, love, a future. Little did I know that peace was already fragile. Work at the small urgent care clinic downtown smelled faintly of desperation and burnt coffee. I shared an office with my longtime friend Lila Cross, a woman I'd known since high school. Lila was loud, effervescent, the kind of person who could talk her way out of anything. I was quieter, organized, and practical. Opposites, somehow bound together by years of shared lockers, clothes, and teenage crushes. Why are you glowing like someone proposed? She asked, plopping into the chair next to me. Shrug. Dinner with Noah last night. It was nice. Lila smirked knowingly. Nice, huh? That's code for floating on cloud 9 and smelling like cologne. I rolled my eyes. She had only met Noah once months ago, at our poorly executed Friendsgiving. He had been polite, charming, and utterly unforgettable. Lila observed every detail, her gaze predatory yet slightly amused, as if cataloguing my happiness for later. Still driving that truck? She asked casually. Yes, I replied. Stable, strong, good job. Not a piece of furniture, Lila. Just saying, she said, twisting her gold bracelet. Some of us collect emotional damages and weak backbones, while you have a man who actually opens doors. Her tone left a sharp edge. Somewhere between our teenage dreams and adult realities, our bond had thinned. I smiled, pretending not to notice. Friday night, Noah suggested we catch a movie downtown at an old art house. Something Italian, he said. You pretend to read the subtitles, I'll pretend I understand the plot. I wore my favorite burgundy dress, the one Grandma always said made me look like a southern debutante with a secret. But as I arrived, Lila was already there, her grin wide and confident. Lauren. Can't miss a tragic, artsy night, right? Noah's expression flickered with slight confusion. Didn't expect company tonight, he murmured. The theater smelled of popcorn butter and dust. Lila whispered commentary throughout the film, gasping, laughing, even propping her heels on the seat in front. Noah's hand hesitated mid-reach. After the film we stepped outside. Savannah, or rather Lila, waved dramatically. Don't be surprised if I crash your wedding someday. Noah and I smiled politely. I didn't look back. The Savannah night was warm, heavy with humidity. Then came the proposal. A small navy box, a sparkling ring inside. Lauren Harper, he said, eyes steady. Will you marry me? I couldn't speak, laughter and joy colliding in my chest. Yes, I whispered, voice trembling. God, yes. Our first year of marriage was golden. Simple, warm, ordinary, just how we liked it. Noah built a crib, stocked the pantry, and stopped bringing muddy boots home. I worked part-time, mostly at urgent care. Everything felt sacred, a quiet joy. But then Lila appeared again. She didn't call. She didn't text. She just showed up, cookies in hand, perfume trailing behind her. She surveyed our home like a gallery, her smile tight, her tone a little too sharp. Noah offered tea, but she declined. She spoke for 10 minutes, barely glancing at me, always leaning slightly toward him, as if checking the weight of his attention. After she left, I stood at the window, stomach tight. You okay? Noah asked. Yes, I lied, uncertain. That visit shifted something, subtle yet undeniable, the first ripple in still water. Weeks later, I discovered I was pregnant. The 2 pink lines on the test made my heart skip, and Noah's tears were raw, unguarded, filled with hope. I whispered, "We're going to be okay," and we believed it for a while. Lila found out too. She brought me a pastry and forced a tight smile. "A little Harper baby," she said. "How traditional." She patted my hand, an awkward blessing from someone who had no intention of joining this journey. As my pregnancy progressed, I worked harder than ever, swelled ankles and all, until the day I requested early maternity leave. Lila refused. Her office had deadlines, she said, clients, reports, interns in tears. Everything came before my need for care. Her words stung deeper than any criticism, more than fatigue. That night I began spotting. Noah rushed me to the hospital. I stayed overnight. Bed rest was mandatory. My body was crying for relief. And in that quiet, I thought about friendship, how it can bloom like jasmine in spring, or rot like forgotten fruit in the heat. Grace Harper came into the world on a stormy Monday morning. Her arrival was pain and terror and hope all at once. Her tiny body fragile, her spirit fierce, a newborn already knowing struggle. Hours later, the doctor confirmed what we feared, a congenital heart defect. Surgery would be necessary. I didn't cry. My body went numb. Noah held me, gripping my hand as if to anchor us both. Our lives became a meticulous rhythm of oxygen tanks, medication schedules, and hospital visits. Through it all, I learned something harsh and beautiful. Life's fragility doesn't diminish love. It sharpens it. And while friendship may rot, family, and the life we build, can thrive even in the shadow of fear. Lauren's story reminds us that life can be fragile, unpredictable, and heartbreaking, but love and resilience can carry us through the darkest times. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life tales of courage, heartbreak, and hope. Share your thoughts below. How would you face the challenges Lauren did? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.